All right, today we're talking about a tool you already have, one that can literally help you turn your biggest goals into reality. We're talking about visualization. And trust me, it's way more than just simple daydreaming.
So let's start with this. I want you to really think about it for a second. What if you had a genuine superpower? I'm not talking comic books here. I mean right now in your life. Would it be flight, super strength? What would you pick?
Well, guess what? You do have one. It's your imagination. And look, I get what you might be thinking. Imagination, that's for kids. But no, this isn't about make-believe. This is about one of the most powerful, functional tools your mind has. It's the very thing that sets us apart.
I mean, just think about it for a second. Humans can't fly, right? But our imagination led us to invent airplanes. We can't breathe underwater, but we dreamed up submarines and then built them. Our imagination lets us create the technology, create the reality that goes way beyond our physical limits. And that exact same power, you can point it directly at your own goals.
And this isn't just some abstract idea. It's a technique used by the absolute best in their fields. We're talking Olympic athletes, groundbreaking entrepreneurs, world-famous artists. These top performers have mastered the art of taking something invisible, an idea, a goal, a win, and making it so vivid in their mind that it becomes, well, visible. They don't just see their success, they feel it, long before it actually happens.
Okay, that all sounds great, right? But the big question is, does it really work? So let's move away from the big idea for a second and look at the cold, hard proof. And we're going to start with one of the most iconic stories in sports history.
So for decades, running a mile in under 4 minutes was considered, well, impossible. I mean, experts, doctors, they all said the human body simply wasn't capable of it. But then along came a guy named Roger Bannister. And here's the thing. He didn't just train his body harder. He trained his mind. He relentlessly visualized that race over and over. He saw the clock, he felt his lungs burning, he pictured that finish line tape breaking across his chest with the time reading 3 minutes and 59 seconds. And then, on May 6, 1954, he did it. He turned that mental picture into reality and shattered a barrier everyone thought was permanent.
Bannister's story is the perfect example of this idea. You know, most of us live by the phrase, "I'll believe it when I see it." But the game changers, the high achievers, they completely flip that around. They understand that you will only see it happen out there in the real world after you first learn to believe it in here, inside your mind.
Right, but I can hear you now. Okay, that's Roger Bannister, a one-of-a-kind athlete. What about the rest of us? Does this work for normal people? And that's a fantastic question. Luckily, science has an answer. So let's check out this really fascinating study from the University of Chicago that looked at that exact thing.
Okay, so check this out. Researchers took 3 groups of people to test their basketball free throw skills. The first group, they practiced physically every single day for a month. And no surprise, they got better, 24% better. The third group, they did absolutely nothing, and they saw 0 improvement. But now look at that middle group. This is the wild part. They never touched a basketball. For 30 days, they just visualized making perfect shots. And their improvement? An incredible 23%. Almost identical to the people who are physically practicing every day, just by thinking about it.
So how is that even possible? I mean, how can just thinking about something give you almost the same result as actually doing it? Well, this isn't magic, it's neuroscience. Let's peel back the curtain and look at what's actually going on inside your brain when you do this.
So, your brain is filled with these things called neural pathways. The easiest way to think of them is like trails through a thick forest. The more you walk down a specific trail, the wider, clearer, and easier it becomes to travel. Well, when you perform an action, like shooting a free throw, you're strengthening the neural pathway for that action. But here's the amazing part. When you vividly imagine doing that same thing, your brain fires up and strengthens the exact same pathways.
And this leads to a pretty mind-blowing conclusion. On a neurological level, your brain often can't tell the difference between a real physical action and a vividly imagined one. Physical practice builds muscle memory through repetition. But detailed visualization, it builds that same memory just by thinking. You're essentially pre-paving the road to success in your mind, making it so much easier for your body to follow when it's game time.
All right, so we've seen the stories, we've looked at the science. Now for what really matters. How do you actually use this in your own life? Let's break this down into a really simple, practical guide you can start using literally today.
But wait, before we jump into the steps, this right here is the absolute secret ingredient. This is what separates powerful visualization from just, daydreaming. It is not enough to just see the success in your head. You have to feel it.
The joy, the pride, the relief, the excitement, those emotions are the rocket fuel. That's what makes the vision sticky in your brain and actually drives you to get it done.
Okay, here's a super simple routine you can try. First, just relax. Find a quiet place, close your eyes, take a couple of deep breaths, and just let your mind settle. Second, see your goal. And don't just think about it, see it from your own eyes in brilliant, vivid detail. Step 3, and this is the big one, amplify the emotion. Actually feel the pride, the joy of having already achieved it. Let that feeling fill your whole body. And finally, number 4, bring that feeling back with you. Open your eyes, but hold on to that sense of purpose and determination as you go about your day.
So as we start to wrap this up, I want you to think of this practice as your own personal bridge. It's the thing that connects the reality of where you are right now with the possibility of where you want to go. It literally closes the gap between your present self and your future self.
So, let's just boil it all down to its essence. This is the path. You imagine it, then you see it in detail, you fuel it by feeling it, you make it real by believing in it, and then, and this is the step you can never ever skip, you have to work for it. Visualization is the blueprint. It's the architectural drawing. But you still have to pick up the hammer and build the house.
You know, every single dream that has ever been realized, every invention, every record, every great company, it all started as just an image in someone's mind. They dared to see what wasn't there yet. So the last question is really for you. What are you going to make visible?